Hello, everyone, and welcome into downtown Tulsa for the final time in the 2018 regular season finale, coming to you live from One Oak Field as we get set for the visitors from Seattle. S2 in the house, taking on your Tulsa Roughnecks. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders. And Dave, tonight's match is important. Lots of pride on the line, and also playing to try to stay out of the bottom of the table there in the Western Conference. And you see the standings, Seattle there at number 16, the Roughnecks at 17, Seattle with 22 points, Tulsa with 21 points. If the Roughnecks want to finish in 16th tonight, it's pretty simple. You have to finish with a win to get those very coveted 3 points on the evening. Absolutely, Pop. You said it all. Difficult season for both of these teams tonight. Nothing to play for apart from you don't want to finish bottom of the league. It should be a great game because they've got really nothing to play for apart from that statistic. Well, there were some fireworks in the last match between these two teams on September 5th. So both of these matches came essentially towards the end of the 2018 regular season. So September 5th, we go back to that one. Jesus Ferrara, a hat trick, the first one in Roughnecks history. The Roughnecks thought that they had another road victory, and that's something that we need to mention throughout the broadcast this evening, is that the Roughnecks have had a lot of success against S2. As a matter of fact, 5-0-1, and that one came back on September 5th because Seattle Sounders 2 found a way, Dave, with 3 goals at the very tail end of the match to end up with that 4-4 draw, and it was quite the finish. It was quite the finish, and it must have felt like a win, quite simply, for Seattle, and a real defeat for the Roughnecks. I mean, not often do you go 4-1 up and you lose in that fashion. You feel sorry for Jesus Ferreira, who scored that hat-trick, as you said. So if that's anything to live up to tonight, we should be seeing a great game. Here's one young man that we'll keep an eye on tonight. It is Alec Diaz, who is 16 years of age. He scored his first professional goal here in USL back on Wednesday night against Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC in the 81st minute. Some of the academy players are getting an opportunity here at the end of the season for S2. And here's a gentleman that, when we saw him here last Saturday, he came on as a sub, and he is the definition of a spark plug. He just adds energy to your 11. He does. He scored a great goal against Fresno back in July, celebrating with his family, as we've often said in the stands. He brings life to this Roughnecks team, and that 16-year-old lad for Seattle. Excited to see him tonight. We're excited to see Isaac Diaz, and there's Fabian Serta as well. 123 saves so far on the season. That means he needs 7 to tie the all-time record tonight. And if he comes away with 8, he will be the all-time saves leader in the regular season in USL history. So we've got a lot of storylines playing through tonight, not only here at One Oak, but there are a lot of storylines throughout the rest of the USL regular season. Some very important matchups that are taking place currently right now, and one of those happens to be in San Antonio that we'll get to coming up here in just a bit. We'll take our time out, and when we come back, we'll be set for the kickoff. Live from One Oak Field, it's the Roughnecks, it's S2, it's the season finale, live from One Oak Field here in Tulsa.
When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
It makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice and cozy.
Right,
and,
exactly.
I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/powerhours.
What defines you? Your pain, your illness, your injury. At Hillcrest, we see it a little differently. Your hope defines you. Your strength, your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. Because we believe every life is worth fighting for.
Welcome back. We are just a few moments away from kickoff here on the final matchup of the 2018 season. Let's take a look at the starting 11 from the visitors from S2 coming into tonight. There's Callie Brown, who is in goal tonight in between the posts. He is quite the force there in the net. Jesse Daly. And there's Alec Diaz there, number 48, who we highlighted early in the season. And we'll get to the Roughnecks starting 11. Dave, some of your thoughts on the final lineup of this season?
Yeah, excited to see Isaac Diaz in there. I think he'll be supporting Michael Gamble, of course. No Joaquin Rivas tonight. And watch out for Eti Tavares, the number 7, arguably the quickest player for the Roughnecks, and he will be playing down the right-hand side.
The leading goal scorer for the Roughnecks, who is not here this evening, and someone that we have talked about quite a lot, Dave. It's very special when you get called up to represent your country, and that's what we're seeing tonight. And that game's at 9 o'clock tonight with one Joaquin Rivas, El Salvador taking on Barbados. And we are officially underway here in Tulsa. It's a very crisp evening, maybe one of the coolest evenings that we've had so far this year, or at least towards the tail end of this season. And we're excited to bring this match to you. Thank you to those of you watching in on ESPN Plus and also Cox Your View here locally. Jeremy Podlin and Dave Saunders with you as we bring you tonight's match. Roughnecks wearing their all-white kits with the orange socks tonight and the traditional green, blue, green there from S2. And with Joaquin Rivas out tonight, it does give us a chance to maybe see a few slight changes here in the Roughnecks lineup, as my partner alluded to here just a few moments ago. You see there the graphic for the Sounders 2, 0-5-1 all-time against the Roughnecks. Currently in 16th place. There's a nice ball that's slotted into the box. Gamble can't get to it in enough time. It's played out. Jalen Markey, it sets up a throw-in here. Now deep almost in the far corner on the opposite side of the field for the Roughnecks. And there's our first look at Vukovic, who we've come to know as maybe one of the more vital players to this Roughnecks attack. And here he is, cuts towards the byline. That ball, driven ball, nice ball. If there had been a run towards that back post, there was not. And now we throw in on the near side.
Yeah, Vukovic has become very important, as you say. He's got that left-hand side, the left-back roll. You'll see him push on. He'll get crosses in like he's just done. Some he tucks in behind as everybody runs towards goal, back towards the penalty spot. He's got a great delivery. You'll see him on the free kicks tonight as well.
There's Josh Morton, the rookie from Cal, who had the first header. Now plays this one back easily. Jacinho finds Fabian Serta, who, as we mentioned in the pregame, we will keep an eye on this evening. Needs 7 saves to tie 8 to become the all-time saves leader in one season in USL, which that would be the 131 mark. Eti Tavares will face up against the defender. Look at that speed. Gets to the byline. Nice cut ball there, right towards the corner of the box. And Tavares, so many times we've mentioned how important it is to get him touches early, Dave, and that was a good way to get him involved early.
It was, and you're absolutely right. Get the ball to his feet. He's arguably the quickest player, and he went round the Seattle defenders as though they weren't there. There was a good clearance in the end from Markey in the box there as Tavares tried to pull it back to the penalty spot.
The thing I like about Eti, and I think we've seen it established, when he gets an opportunity to go 1v1 versus the defender, he typically takes that. He's very comfortable on the ball and has developed quite the individual skill set. And I think we saw a portion of that just a few moments ago with that simple little touch by the defender.
Yeah, he's one of those players that, again, in a difficult season, you know, you'll look back on this season and say, yeah, Eti Tavares is one of the bright sparks. Loose ball there, and you're right, and any coach wants his quickest player to be one-on-one with a defender. That's part of the game, isn't it? You want that, and it's going to give the left back a bit of a torrid time tonight if Eti Tavares gets the ball to his feet.
Little miscommunication there on the opposite end with Briscoe. No trouble for Tulsa, and quickly now to the opposite end of the field. Nice slotted ball played there centrally. Roughnecks defenders trying to get it out of the box. There's a save from Serta. With a kick save as he was diving to his left to make sure that he got everything from the feet on it. There's an attempt from distance. It will hit off of one of the Roughnecks defenders, and we'll have to take a look at this save early on from Serta because, wow, incredible here in the opening moments.
Here's the ball in, though. And Serta has to make another save there at the near post. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you save it with, does it, with the goalkeeper? That's 124 saves now. Got down, saves with his feet. I don't know how many of those 124 have been with his feet. Quite a few, actually. But he's just a good all-round goal stopper.
First corner was put out of play by Serta. On the second one, they go and try to go with the build-up. Nice looping ball over the top. Can he get there in enough time? He does. No, the flag is up. Could not save it over the byline. Good attempt. Well played ball over the top. Just a tad bit heavy as Sounders 2 with David Estrada. There you see wearing the captain's armband, having their first real opportunity here to strike first in this match in the 6th minute.
Yeah, Estrada, the top goal scorer on 10 goals for Sounders 2 and having his first effort there. These two have produced a lot of goals in their head-to-head, haven't they? So we'll hope for a few tonight.
Brought down by Mirkovic to Tavares. Square ball is behind Gamble. Popeo got to it. Little tumble. Referee says play on. Diaz now, right at the edge of the center circle. Nice pass through from Morton, links up with Gamble. Tavares on the run, receives it back from Gamble, slots it there centrally, looking for Diaz. Good work there by the S2 midfield to come back, knock that ball away. Still, though, in possession here for Tulsa. Still on sides is Tavares. The keeper was pointing that out. Brown thought that he was off, and quickly, Dave, you saw the assistant point to the player in which was keeping Tavares on sides. Roughnecks aren't through. Here's Paris G. Paris G sets himself up, the blast. Save there by Callie Brown. Had to go down to his left, has it, and that sets up a corner here for the Roughnecks. And we'll get a good look on the replay here of Paris G's first attempt of the evening.
Yeah, tucks inside here, playing on the left of the three there, and that is a very good save because the ball was dipping and the goalkeeper has to be at his best there, Brown, to palm it away with his left palm. And we have a corner kick for the Roughnecks with Vukovic.
Corner kicks brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Metro by T-Mobile's new ultimate plans offering amazing features. Long looping ball there, easy for Brown. A little bounce pass out from Brown, looking for Daly. Roughnecks back with possession. Gamble. Oh, nice footwork from Gamble. Has an opportunity here. Oh, saved off of the line. Oh, the defender got a boot up to keep it out of the back of the net. Saves the day, still not out of danger.
Yeah, that was Jalen Markey there. He just kept his eye on everything because that was a tremendous run from Michael Gamble. We've seen that a few times here at One Up this season. Michael Gamble's such a tricky player as two players really go for that one. I think Mirkovic has come off badly there, but that was a tremendous piece of defending. Mirkovic is in a lot of trouble here, I think. Here's the replay from our camera right by the side here. Look at this from Gamble. Tremendous play, but watch the defender. Keeps an eye on it, hooks it away. That's quality defending from Markey. That was a full-blooded challenge, by the way, and there was no malicious intent from either player. It's just one of those when they both go sliding in. I walked on the pitch an hour or so before the kickoff, and the rain, which we've had in Tulsa today, not affecting the field at all. There was not much significance with the amount of rain that is on the field.
Gives us an opportunity to point out the job that Kobe Smith does, the athletic trainer for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Travels a lot of miles with the team, doesn't he? He's always there.
Yes, he does.
Down on his knees again, attending to another injury there.
Goes above and beyond, does Kobe Smith. His affiliation with Tulsa Bone and Joint, the new official orthopedic provider of the Roughnecks, Tulsa Bone and Joint, helping to keep the Roughnecks on the field. Oh, kind of gives both sides a moment here to catch a blow. That looks like that is right on the shin, Dave.
Yeah. It was, like we say, a full-blooded challenge, which Mirkovic is not afraid of. But as I say, there's two honest players going for the ball here. You'll see here, both of them will be going for this ball, trying to win it. And there's Mirkovic gets there first. And I think it was Markey again.
It was Markey,
yeah,
yes.
The guy that made that tremendous goal line clearance.
Mirkovic is up on his feet, but he is trying to fight his way through some discomfort right there.
Well, you won't get him off the field easily, will you? He just loves the game so much.
Look at the Roughneck bench in the background. That tells you exactly how we in Oklahoma have not become accustomed to the cool weather yet. DJ Dean looks like he's freezing on the bench.
Well, it is in the mid-50s. This is wonderful for me as an Englishman, I can tell you. This is perfect English conditions to play a game of soccer.
It'll be wonderful for S2 as well. Curling ball. Markey gets to it one more time. Boy, his presence has been felt quite a bit here. Cutback move here. Jacinho, who just lost it. S2 just trying to clear it out of their back end right now. Long ball forward. They'll try to let Diaz, the youngster, run onto it. Almost got there in front of Serta. Now he's got to quickly get back on sides, which he does. How about that bit of defending there?
Well, that was the experience of Mr. Vukovic there, just running down the center of the field. Great run from the Seattle forward there, but Vukovic with a good bit of experience there foils the danger. And you can see those subs, as you said, they're all, it's like it's freezing here, but it's really not, everybody watching in.
Dumped into the box. Serta, no trouble whatsoever.
What I would say, it is one of those nights when you want to be out running around rather than sat there.
Absolutely.
To be fair.
Mirkovic has been welcomed back on. How about that service from Serta? Right on the money for Vukovic, and even better defending.
Yeah, great defending. But as a brilliant delivery, as you said.
That was Hopeo that was able to take Vukovic off of the ball. Ulissi with the throw. We'll have another one just to the opposite end of the S2 bench. We'll keep you up to date with some scores. Some very important matches this evening as we are still trying to figure out who the remaining teams in the playoffs will be. Assistance flag is up on the far side. And did Mr. Lancaster just score another one against Indy?
He did. It was a penalty, and Louisville City are leading Indy by 1-0, as you say. Mr. Lancaster, who can't stop scoring.
He 25 goals now. Coming into week 31, he had 22 goals, which was tied with Matt Fondy, the former Louisville forward from 2015. On Tuesday night in a game against North Carolina, Lancaster scored 2. Now he has another one here this evening on the penalty against Indy, 25. He has the all-time scoring mark single season. How Eti Tavares kept that ball is beyond me. Well played ball left there for Diaz. It's Gamble. Gamble tried to turn away from that. The defender, he turned right directly into the defender. Unlucky there are the Roughnecks.
Well, I think Kai Briscoe, the number 41 for Seattle, playing left back, I think he's asking the assistant why it wasn't a handball. I agree with the assistant. I think Tavares did well. If it bounced up, it was certainly accidental. And as we say, Tavares doesn't need a second opportunity to have a go at getting down this right-hand side for the Roughnecks.
Gamble. I thought that Paris G was going to continue that run in. Paris G was what, Dave, 3 or 4 yards there off of the touchline. It would have had to been a pretty stiff run there from Paris to be able to catch up with that ball, but just not able to link up here in the early moments.
I was going to say he would have to have been Usain Bolt-like, and Usain Bolt, of course, slotted in a couple of goals.
You mean Mr. Goal Scorer, Usain Bolt?
Second one was quite fortunate, but the first one was a nice finish.
There in the A-League.
Paris G's had a good start to the game. Of course, we mentioned Rivas not being there. He normally plays on the left of the three, in behind Gamble. And Paris G's had a nice start for me. He's one of those versatile players. We've seen him play at right back. He's played in the holding midfield role. He's now playing kind of a left wing. We've seen him on the right. He's just one of those good, solid players that any coach would love in his team. And here he is on the ball again.
Ball that made it through one defender. And I believe, Dave, getting word that they had issued Markey a yellow on that hard tackle against Mirkovic.
Well,
and that was in the 9th minute, so that would have been about that time.
Yeah, and I think I can see it both ways. I can see it both ways because both players going for the ball. They didn't, nobody was trying to break anybody's leg. But when you saw the replay, Mirkovic did get there first. And so I can totally understand why Jose Lara, the referee, has given the yellow card. This is a replay of what's just happened, the foul here.
Replays tonight brought to you by HarscoJobs.com and Tankersley Food Service. And to be fair, I did not see Jose Lara award the yellow. I was getting word in from our production team that that was official. Lara, our ref tonight, assistants Matt Trotter, Michael Kapp. And our fourth tonight is Matthew Bahusin. Gamble there with some pressure. LA was able to spin away. LA, the native of Cameroon, made his debut back in April. Seattle so far, Dave, up until this bit of possession here, has been pretty direct down the field, and now taking their time after settling in here for the first few moments, taking advantage of this possession here.
Yeah, and we often say when we see the Roughnecks home here, even though the bottom of the league, they tend to dominate possession. Ball over the top there, it's going to be an offside. But it is Seattle who's settled in nicely. The surface is slightly greasy, isn't it? So the ball is zipping quite nicely for them and are knocking it around well.
That ball played there from Jesse Daly, Brisbane, Australia. Made his debut against Portland Timbers 2 on May 12th.
Now he will be feeling the cold.
Yes, sir.
Brisbane, Australia. Although Seattle, similar conditions, I guess, to tonight.
Seattle's probably had these conditions for quite some time now at most of their home games. Mr. Daly, by the way, is on loan from Queensland Lions FC there in Brisbane. Tavares, overlapping run. It's Morton, the rookie from Cal. Off of the defender. This time header there from Estrada. Good look on the switch there from Mirkovic. Paris G and Mr. Markey tangled up there. Markey played 4 seasons at Oregon State. Signed just last month, September 6, 2018. Native of Renton, Washington. Good chance here for the Roughnecks, Dave.
Yeah, I think it was right in the end. I think G was just fouled there. So it's Isaac Diaz on the free kick. This could be a low driven ball into the box, hoping someone will get on the end of it. In fact,
Diaz
loops it.
Yeah. Curler sailed by Brown.
Frustrating for a coach, that, isn't it, when you get into a position, albeit, you know, it is obviously on the side of the box, but it's kind of a nothing ball in the end.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on every order over $50. 21st minute now. Teams looking for their first opportunity. Well played ball there and into the back of the net. S2 strikes first here in the 21st minute. And it's the youngster one more time, Mr. Diaz, the 16-year-old. Second goal in his second game, up from the academy. And the youngster has made quite the impression here in the early going as we get a look at the replay.
Well, it's beautiful ball here. It looks like an offside, but of course he's not interfering with play. Diaz was onside. Perfect decision from the assistant. Everybody was looking across at the assistant, but that is Diaz. What a future that young man has. 2 goals in 2 games, 16 years old. Beautiful finish.
Well, let's give credit to the captain too, Mr. Estrada, because that goal is not possible without that ball from David Estrada. And S2 looking to stay out of the basement in the West with the goal here in ONEOK. And not done yet, a giveaway. Briscoe. Not enough on that ball on the switch. Paris settles, had some time there. Service back.
Talking of the other conference, half-time Charlotte Independence 1, North Carolina 1. Stephen Miller, we know very well, the next Roughnecks player in that lineup, and they have to win by a lot, don't they, North Carolina, if they're going to sneak into that top 8 playoff.
Yeah, coming into the week, there were 6 teams that were fighting for those final 4 spots there in the East, but it has worked itself out. You know, Ottawa lost to Charleston, so that knocked them out. Nashville, on the heels of that, before they even played, they were in. So Bethlehem plays Tampa tomorrow. That's a key match. And then you just mentioned North Carolina playing Charlotte. Offsides, flag is up.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you've got one game tomorrow in the Western, you've got one game in the Eastern, with those 2 teams knowing exactly what they've got to do. It's just the way the fixtures work out. Of course, in the Roughnecks division, we've got 2 exciting games that are just about to kick off in St. Louis and, of course, San Antonio.
Yeah, they're in San Antonio. It's the South Texas Derby with Rio Grande Valley FC. It's a must-win for San Antonio. San Antonio can finish as high as 7th. It would hold the tiebreaker with total wins against St. Louis should St. Louis fall to Oklahoma City tonight. But then Swope as well can sneak in, Dave. If San Antonio somehow ends up with a draw, all Swope has to do is come away with a point against Los Dos. And that pushes San Antonio below that playoff line.
And as I said, Swope will know exactly what they've got to do against Los Dos because they play tomorrow. Here's the Roughnecks on the attack.
Great ball from Gamble. Tavares. Oh, and it went all the way through in between Diaz, Parrish, G there as well. And I think that's just a point there, Dave, where maybe Diaz is not trying to be selfish there and felt like that there was a player on a run coming from behind him. But a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it was a wasted opportunity, you're right. What was interesting for me was that Mirkovic had made a run. into the box, and it's been a feature of the last couple of games that Mirkovic, who's barely seen the attacking box out the whole season, has been in there in the last couple of games. Maybe it's something the coach has said to him, look, we need you in there more.
Two-man wall now for S2. Brown has them in position. Vukovic approaches the ball, played in, curling away there. Defender heads this out of play, and it's a corner now coming up for the Roughnecks. Corner kicks brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Metro by T-Mobile, new unlimited plans offer amazing features.
Yeah, I think Jalen Markey was complaining there to his keeper and the other defenders, you know, why didn't you give me a shout? Because he's given a needless corner away. But the Roughnecks will take this.
Simple breakdown of communication. Diaz. This ball there from Diaz, maybe a tad bit too far. Jacinho, just a piece of it. Vukovic still in position from that corner, still on this side of the pitch. Lazy ball there, looking for Diaz, unable to link up. S2 now with Daly. Markey. Step in front there.
There's Munoz with a great interception, then immediately gave it away and put his side under pressure.
Immediately had to hustle back. Kid, New Balance is the official sportswear provider of the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. You can look for a full line of New Balance products in the Roughnecks team store. And I believe tonight, Dave, 40% off there in the team store, if I saw the tweet correctly.
You're absolutely right.
If not, I just gave him a huge discount.
Tom will sort you out if you go down there anyway.
Yeah, I want to give Tom and his family a nice message as looping ball played in there. Estrada has it, turns, looking for somewhere to go with it. Finally has help in the form of Briscoe. Briscoe gives it away, and then another quick giveaway there by the Roughnecks. That's two in a row, and opportunities that have been taken away there by those two sinners.
Yeah, when you're up against it with the possession stats, the last thing you want to do is keep giving the ball away to the opposition. But we've seen a few go astray from both of these teams tonight.
Nick Hines. The poor ball. There's Serta, who was tested early, had one big save.
Yeah,
maybe in a little bit upset there, Dave.
Yeah, I think he's not afraid to tell his colleagues what they're doing wrong and where he wants them to be. He was upset about the goal. There's nothing he could have done about it. And it was a fine finish from young Diaz. I mentioned Paris G earlier on in the commentary, saying what a good start he'd had. He's just not really had the best of the last 10 minutes or so. And I think that's paying tribute really to the opposition who've come here, Seattle, and got the goal and settled the game down a little bit.
I think there have been times. S2 with another chance. Off the deflection, then skied over the top of the bar.
And into the bar, I think, that ball. It was so high over the terrace there, but again, a little bit too easy for Seattle. I think if you're Coach Ensign, you're looking at that and saying that's too easy to get through the center of the field there.
The press here from S2 as you get a replay there from Harsco Jobs. Offsides now. That was Diaz, the guilty party. Of course, that was a result of some of the high press that we've seen so far. USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Goal kick now.
I have a very good friend back in England who loves all things Seattle. He loves the city of Seattle. He loves the Sounders. He's a big Seahawks fan and a big Mariners fan, and he was proudly holding his ticket for tomorrow, of course, the Seahawks in London. He can't wait for that one. I think it's 1 p.m. Local time here, Eastern time. The Seahawks playing at Wembley, so it should be good in the NFL, that one.
Have you been to Seattle, my friend?
I have not yet, and I really want to.
It's a beautiful city, beautiful part of our country. Just last time I was in Seattle, got to take in a Sounders match there at CenturyLink, where one former Sounder, Sammy Ochoa, was able to give us some great hospitality and show us around downtown.
And of course, Sammy, who now plies his trade Las Vegas, did you see his goal? A tremendous goal against
fabulous
Phoenix
goal.
In the, what was it, 5-2 win, wasn't
yes.
it? We seem to be still mentioning Sammy after his playing his trade here, but it really was a tremendous goal. But you're right, I want to go to Seattle and the Seahawks in London tomorrow. NFL getting pretty big across the pond, Pop.
Paris G is going to be off. He thought he was in line.
That was close, wasn't it? That was a close one.
We'll see here on the replay. The assistant was right in position, so he obviously has the best look of anyone. Paris gave a little bit of a kind of a look and a question, but not much of an argument. Here we go. Yeah, tough to tell from there.
Yeah, it looks like he ran onto it from that position, but the assistant referee is obviously the man in line.
With it being our last match here at ONE Oak this year, I want to say thank you to everyone's hard work, everyone that operates a camera, as we quickly go to the opposite end. Defending there, Jairzinho. Top-notch quality work from everyone involved with the cameras here at ONE Oak this season. It helps make what we do that much easier. Quick throw in here for Josh Morton. Trying to find Gamble, just not enough on the throw in. Jairzinho skies this one. Daly goes up for the win. Roughnecks are working, Dave. It's just seemingly that, what, third or fourth pass, they're having a hard time connecting up right now. It's just one of those instances where you go through spells like that where the first two are okay, but just that third and fourth sometimes are difficult.
Yeah, you're right. That's what they're doing at the moment. Michael Gamble works so hard every single time I see him play. He just can't get that flick, as you say. It's probably the third pass. Now, what can they do here? String a few passes together is probably what's needed at the moment for the home side.
Vukovic, not much he could do there. Sent one towards the front post. Brown made it look much more difficult than what it really was. Hines has to pick himself up. Hines, the native of Plantation, Florida. 2016, played in 7 games for S2, made 3 starts. Had his first professional goal this year, way back in March, opening weekend.
Yeah, this team, Seattle, they got off to a good start, didn't they? They won their first game against Portland 2-1. 5 wins on the season against the 3 wins for the Roughnecks. So they both struggled to get the 3 points, and Seattle haven't won away all season. So is tonight the night for them?
Currently find themselves in position. Hey, the 2018 USL 20 under 20. It was released. Who are the young standouts competing in the USL that you need to know about right now? You can check it out. 20 under 20 throughout this week at USLsoccer.com. They revealed the best players aged 20 and under in the league this season. And we'll take a look at that list coming up in the second half. Etty. Oh, nice move there from Diaz, but the flag was up early as soon as he received that ball. It was quite the impressive turn there from Diaz, who set himself up beautifully.
Yeah, he was pointing at Briscoe, the left back, saying that, you know, Briscoe may have played him onside, but again, I think it's a quality decision from the AR here. I think Diaz did everything right. There he is in the middle of the picture, but you see it there. It does look very close again.
Well, the thing about Isaac, too, is you saw him cheat with those 2 steps, just kind of sliding there to his right, making sure that he was on, at least what he thought was on. Nice hustle from Diaz. Tavares. It's a foul from behind. Jose Lauer makes the call. Hopeo, the guilty party. Green Country Chevy Dealers ball kids in attendance here, as they are every home match at One Oak.
Paris G coming up on the right-hand side. Tavares has gone to the left just to mix things up a little bit for the home side.
Good heads-up switch there from Morton. Vukovic, Diaz.
Well, I think Vukovic just drove the ball into the box, hoping for something to happen. It nearly fell for Diaz. Just couldn't get it under control.
It was a pacey ball to be able to control if you're Diaz. As you mentioned, it was kind of driven. Oh, Gamble.
Referee deeming that was a fair challenge. Got the ball, hooked his foot around the ball. No complaints from Michael Gamble. He's an honest player.
Part of the excitement, Dave, of playing a team like S2 that, or even some of the 2 sides that we see, is the variety and difference in lineups that we're going to see. You never quite know what to expect, what academy player, what player that's on a parent club contract is going to be down. But from what we've seen in the past from the league and what we're seeing tonight, you know, there's some quality teenage players that are receiving good minutes inside the USL, and I think S2 is a prime example of that.
I think they're leading the way on it, and that's part of what the USL is all about, isn't it? And we've seen a 16-year-old score a goal tonight, and you've mentioned we're going to be looking at some more from Seattle's, you know, been singled out, the under-20s. It's very, very exciting. great academy.
We've had a prime example of that, and a great seat to watch, you know, some of FC Dallas's great talent this year. From Jesus Ferrara, well-played ball. Jairzinho, boy, has to time that perfectly, and he did. A fabulous tackle by Jairzinho.
Well, he did have to time it right. We often say that about defenders, don't we? They have to time things exactly right, or they give a penalty, and obviously they're risking a red card. Good defending, throw into the Roughnecks. And you mentioned Jesus Ferreira when he scored that hat-trick. Of course, he was only 17 from the FC Dallas Academy, wasn't he, up in Seattle in the incredible 4-4 draw.
'41st minute now, throw in for Roughnecks there in front of the S2 bench. Obviously, Dave, some pretty big decisions to be made here coming up in the offseason from the Tulsa perspective. Michael Insian taking over as the interim head coach for the Roughnecks. Well-placed ball there. Morton for the touch. The header, it's offsides. The flag on this side is up. Gamble upset with himself as he kicks the post.
Well, if you're a Seattle fan watching this, you're thinking it's great play from my back four because, you know, they're catching the Roughnecks attackers offside. That was a great ball in from Josh Morton, a really good header from Gamble, a good save actually from Brown, but alas, up went the flag again. It's been 3 or 4 close calls. And as you say, yeah, a lot of work to do, as always. I think Mike Insian has done extremely well coming in halfway through the season. Here's the Roughnecks on the attack.
Can Tavares run onto it? He does. Has an opportunity and finishes. Eti Tavares in the 42nd minute on the run through, beats Brown, the keeper, and we are level at 1 here at ONEOK.
Eti Tavares gets his 3rd goal of the season, and that is the man that you want chasing a ball one-on-one, ball over the top. He is the quickest player, and he's right onto that. And this, don't count this finish out. That is a great finish. Okay, keeper does everything he can, but that is a great finish from Tavares. That brings us at 1-1 with 3 minutes to go to half-time.
Glad you brought up the finish, because the keeper there on that angle, I mean, he's coming out immediately to take away as much space as he has.
Yeah, he certainly did. Great time to score a goal anytime, anywhere in the world, playing this wonderful game just before half-time.
We might be able to see if we can get the production crew to give us another. Here's the finish. Watch this. Yeah, right foot there, right underneath Brown. Maybe we can go back a little bit further with the guys in the booth to see who got that assist on the ball played in. And the Roughnecks, actually, Dave, had 2 players in position. I think Diaz could have got to that ball as well.
Diaz could have got to that ball as well. I think, as I said in commentary, no disrespect to Isaac Diaz, but in a 100-meter dash, I think Tavares would win it hands down. And I'm glad that he was the one that went on the end of it. But you're right, Diaz probably could have finished it as well. 1-1 the score, the important statistic, 3rd goal of the season for Eti Tavares.
By the way, that's Morton who gets credit for the assist. We'll have 2 minutes of time coming up here in a moment added on. Roughnecks are not done, but the flag is up. That's 3-4 times tonight offsides for Tulsa.
Now that's an interesting one to me. If Diaz had left that for Tavares, I think Tavares would have been in on play. Somebody is down.
It's Paris G.
Paris G is down. But if Diaz had just left that ball, I think Eti Tavares was onside on the left-hand side. G's taken one there on the left ankle, as you can see from our brilliant camera crew here. And on comes the ever-willing Kobe to tend to his needs. Still no goals in those important games in this conference. St. Louis 0, Oklahoma City Energy 0, and San Antonio 0, Rio Grande 0. San Antonio rather messed things up a little bit when they came to One Oak. It was a fine 2-0 win, actually, for the Roughnecks, one of only 3 wins this season. And spoke to Darren Powell, the manager, after the game, and he said, you know, well done, Tulsa, basically. He said they did everything right, and we went up to our best. Here's the injury coming up, I think. Oh, there's the ball over the top. Yeah. And you're right, Diaz could have got on it, but it favoured Eti Tavares. But you got to keep your wits about you. Got to keep calm to finish like that.
No, I mean, it's a heads-up play from Diaz as well to realize that Eti is on the run, because Diaz gets that ball, he's already driving his body at an angle. That would have been a remarkable finish, or at least an attempt at a finish. And Kobe's going to pull Paris to his feet. That does not look like Paris is having a whole lot of success putting a lot of weight on that left foot, and the Roughnecks are going to have a sub.
You said a few moments ago about the work, you know, to be done in the off season, and there's 2 guys we could mention there. Paris G hobbling off the field, I think, is vital to the Roughnecks, and would love to see him back in a Roughnecks shirt. And of course, Eti Tavares, who just got the goal. I think any Roughnecks fan would tell you that he's been a bright spark in this second half of the season, and they would dearly love to see him back playing his trade at One Oak.
Roughnecks now just trying to hold off here and not concede one. They have the throw in here.
Yeah, Paris G just out of shot, is still over there struggling with that left ankle.
They've also added another minute of stoppage time as well, Dave. Yep. Kobe gave the sign for a sub on Paris. Let's hope he's okay.
DJ Dean is going to come in, I think.
Paris coming into tonight. Over 2,600 minutes for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, as we alluded to, you know, earlier on, Pop, he's just one of those guys that you just want in your team. He's can play in a number of positions, 3 or 4 positions.
Speaking of teenagers, here's one, 19 years of age, DJ Dean. Local products, Union High School. Diaz on the header from Morton. Oh, Diaz just couldn't get past Markey.
No, he couldn't. He almost did, didn't he? Did everything right, tricking his way in there, but Sounders 2 were able to clear their lines.
Covarrubias. Had many opportunities to call out Covarrubias so far here this evening. Here he is from Gamble on to Dean. Dean got tangled up. Referee says just inadvertent contact there. Foul there. That should be against Gamble.
Well, I think the reason why we don't mention, haven't mentioned Covarrubias, because he does those unsung things very well.
He just sits right there, right where he's supposed to.
Plays it very simple, and I think he's been very good for the Roughnecks in there alongside Mirkovic.
Ball just curled out of play. There he is, Mr. Covarrubias. Signed towards the end of the season here. All those matches with Los Dos. Mirkovic, and they'll say a hand.
Just wonder whether was it Briscoe there may have handled it just
before
it looked
Mirkovic. Like that.
Mirkovic can't believe it. He said it hit him in the face, I think, but
Daly. Not enough. Job by Munoz. And that will do it for our first half. Level at 1. Alec Diaz in the 21st minute strikes first. And then after that, it's Eti Tavares 21 minutes later in the 42nd. And that is where the first half will end. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll come back with the halftime show. Coming up next here, live from One Oak with S2 and the Roughnecks tied up at 1.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skytook and Ponca City.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice, cozy.
Right,
And
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/power hours.
All right, welcome back. You see some of the sights from downtown Tulsa as we are zooming out here live from One Oak Field. It is tied up at 1 with the Roughnecks and S2 coming in from Seattle on the final game, final match of the 2018 regular season. Welcome in, everyone. I'm Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders. Those of you viewing in on ESPN Plus and also Cox of Yearview here locally. And there's a lot of things happening here as we are wrapping up the final weekend of the USL regular season. Playoff hopes still alive for a handful of teams. Some very important games coming up tonight. We'll have a rundown of those scores coming up here in just a bit. But some pretty big news in the last several weeks, Dave Saunders, about the rebrand here of USL, and the new brands build on the identity that it has established since the start of 2015. Kind of streamlined things a little bit here with the new league structure, bringing all three of the organization's senior divisions under one banner with their own unique styling. And the USL Championship represents the pinnacle, the ultimate goal for players, coaches, fans, and communities. All of those that want excellence, both on and off the field, from international level players to top young talent in the U.S., Canada, and the championship high-end competition with high-level ownership. Then you've got League One as well, which is going to begin play in spring of 2019 as the country's Division III league. And then League One, which offers the opportunity, Dave, for first step in the professional ranks for new talent, and also those that are yearning to climb up that ladder. And you've been accustomed to this growing up your time in England, and it feels like the next step in the progression of this sport in our country.
Yeah, it does, and it's nicely organised. It brings it all together, doesn't it? You know, we know how good the USL is at organising things around this country where soccer is booming. It brings it all together. It gives everybody a focus, you know, and dare I say it, relegation and promotion coming in the future, but we won't go there now. But it just has a nice feel to it that it's all coming together. Well done, the USL.
Absolutely. And speaking of the USL, let's take a look at some of the out-of-town scores that we have taking place here this evening. That's two pretty big matches right there at the top. A couple of games that will start a little bit later tonight, as we're seeing with Sacramento and Las Vegas, Phoenix and T2 there, and St. Louis and Rio Grande Valley, or excuse me, San Antonio and Rio Grande Valley in the South Texas Derby. That one has the chance there to see San Antonio finish as high as 7th inside USL. It also a little bit depends on what happens there with St. Louis and Oklahoma City Energy as well, because there's a chance that depending on the results there in Oklahoma City tonight with St. Louis, Swope may only need to get a point at Los Dos Tabarro. That's if San Antonio draws tonight. So those are big matches. And we saw Nashville secure a spot on the east side earlier today. We saw Ottawa bow out of that race. And Tampa has a pretty big match tomorrow as well there in the Sunday slate. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll run down some of our thoughts from the first half here tonight at One Oak, and also take a look at the first half highlights as you're looking live at downtown Tulsa here with the Roughnecks and S2 tied up at 1.
defines you. Your willingness to fight no matter what the odds. At Hillcrest, we believe every life is worth fighting for.
All right, welcome back to halftime here at One Oak Field. S2 and the Roughnecks tied up at 1. Quickly, Dave, some of your initial thoughts here from the first half.
Yeah, I think it's about right, Pop. The score 1-1. I've been impressed with Seattle. They've come in here, they've knocked the ball around more than the Roughnecks have. But I think the Roughnecks getting that goal just at the end there after a well-worked Seattle goal earlier on in the half, I think it's about right, 1-1.
Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from tonight that saw S2 strike first. First, we get an opportunity here early. We're keeping a track on those saves from Fabian Serta tonight, and he had a big one here early, Dave.
Yeah, with his legs from memory. There it is. Good save. 124 on the season.
Paris G cuts to the inside, sets himself up here with the right foot with that extra touch. Brown had to go down to the ground, got a piece of it. Great camera angle here, Dave, as we get to see what was almost a goal, but terrific defending.
Terrific defending, really good defending, because Gamble had done everything right there, and the defender got Seattle out of trouble there.
Here's an attempt from the Roughnecks on the cross that was headed away here. And here's the goal by the youngster, the 16-year-old Mr. Diaz.
Well, you see there's a man in offside position but not interfering with play. And there's Diaz with a really nice quality finish to put the visiting team 1-0 in the lead. Here it is, the little ball over the top there. And that's a beautiful little volley past Serda. No chance for Serda. Great goal for the 16-year-old.
Nice settle there and assist from Estrada. Here's Tavares. Looking here for Diaz on the turn, but that was whistled there offsides. Roughnecks weren't finished. Still a chance. The header from Gamble, who was also offsides there. That gets us to the ball in from the rookie, and here's Tavares' goal.
Yeah, Tavares really onto this one. Beautiful goal. Brings us 1-1 at half-time.
Reverse angle of it here with Etty running onto it. Diaz, the awareness to allow Etty to run on and make that play, finishes it, and that gets us level at 1. All right, so as the Roughnecks go into halftime here, and if you're Michael Wincian, giving some direction here coming out, if you're him, what are some of your keys to start the second half?
Well, I think you want to go and win the game, quite frankly. I mean, he'd be saying to them, look, last game of the season, last 45 minutes for you to impress me, to impress your teammates. It's 1-1. We don't want to finish bottom of the league. Go out and win the game. I think they've been very good attacking. They've been okay defensively. I think a few times Seattle have been quite reasonably easily getting through the center of the midfield. But I think he'll be saying, go out and win the game.
I think there's a strong sense of pride that also plays in with both of these teams. The last thing that you want to have happen is to finish at the bottom there at the table in the West, and both teams, as you like to say, sir, will throw in the kitchen sink to make sure that they do not allow that to happen tonight. And Tulsa has to come away with a victory if they want to finish in that spot above S2. And pride sometimes can get you in trouble with a lot of things, but pride can propel you onto another goal.
Absolutely, and you know, as it stands, Seattle will finish second from bottom, the Roughnecks will finish bottom. So as we said, Ensign will be saying, go out there, get a couple of goals, you know, try and settle into this one in the second half, and let's do the fans and the establishment proud. But, you know, Seattle have come in here. It's a long way to come and go away with a defeat. So they'll be doing equally as much. Should be a great second half.
One other final note, San Antonio did score. They lead there against Rio Grande Valley 1-0 in an important matchup out west. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be set for the second half kickoff coming up next live from One Oak Field.
Osage Casino Hotel is your premier venue for total entertainment. Whether it's date night, game night, guys night, or ladies night out, it's always your night. Make it unforgettable at Osage Casino Hotel in Skytook and Ponca City.
PSO Power Hours customers talk about their new thermostat.
The fact that you get a free thermostat, it's quite a perk.
Makes your house a smart home because of the Wi-Fi thermostat.
I can get the app on my phone and I can adjust the thermostat as I need it.
Just pull out the phone, you can turn it to what you want it to, and whenever you walk in, the house is nice, cozy.
Right,
And
exactly.
I mean, I love that feature.
See your program options and sign up today at psoklahoma.com/power hours.
Let's take a look at some of the statistics as we get set for both teams who have made their way back out onto the pitch. Possession, Dave, almost dead even. 50.7 for the Roughnecks, 49.3 for S2. Both teams with 4 offsides. Roughnecks had 2 corners. so far here this evening. Shots on target, 2 for S2 on 5 total shots, 3 on target for the Roughnecks on 4 shots as well. 2 of the shots outside of the box for the Roughnecks. And on the defensive side, 15 tackles for S2, but the Roughnecks with a 77% rate on their tackle success. And I think this kind of tells the story for chances that we've seen so far. 11 clearances for the S2 defense to get themselves out of danger. So the Roughnecks have been extremely active, especially there in the last couple of moments. Last 10 minutes or so there of the first half as we are officially back underway. And S2 will get things started with the long ball there from Mr. Daly from the center of the pitch.
Yeah, it's a very even game, as we alluded to in the halftime show, didn't we? And, you know, your stats there tell it with possession. I think if you'd done that after about 25 minutes, I think it probably was about 60-40 in favour of the team in green tonight, Seattle Sounders too, but then the Roughnecks came back with some possession, and now it's about 50-50.
Players tangled up. S2 comes away with it. A shot. Serta just couldn't save it. And S2 strikes first here in the early moments of the second half. Just out of the outstretched arms of Serta, and it's Estrada who now has a goal and an assist on the evening here in the 46th.
Well done to Seattle for scoring the goal, but I have to say I feel a little bit sorry for Muniz here. I think he was held to the ground. I don't know if we'll pick it up on the replay, but it's a great finish. But here, I think that's a foul. The referee deemed it play on, and that is a quality finish. Serta got a hand on it, and, you know, well done for playing on, because you play to the whistle. But Muniz maybe had an issue there, and a point that, you know, he was being held on the ground.
We might ask to take one more look at that here in the next several moments at our best opportunity that we have. And that might be now. The Roughnecks go quickly here. Here's a look at it.
Here's Muniz with the ball now. Does he get fouled there? Well, if he does, to be fair, the Seattle
ball's
player,
already gone at that point.
And the Seattle player is back to Muniz. So, you know, I think that's unlucky for Muniz, and a great finish from Seattle. Make your mind up at home.
Well, on a great angle as well to help us see that there from upstairs and behind the play. I have a card that's issued here. That's Gamble.
Michael Gamble. Don't see many of those. He hasn't had too many cards this season, Michael Gamble.
It's only Gamble's 3rd yellow on the entire season.
Well, this game normally produces goals, apart from, I remember the same fixture at the end of last season when the Roughnecks needed to secure their top 8 place, and they did it with a 1-0 win. But apart from that, it's been goals with these two, hasn't it? So maybe we're going to see some more tonight. 2-1 it is to Seattle at the moment.
Still disappointing and frustrating, though, to concede one that early, considering the way that you fought back over those last 15 minutes and were able to make it level at 1, and still not out of danger here for the Roughnecks back line. Here's Estrada. Little poke touch back out. Now Estrada has to reset. Back from midfield, Markey. Stutter step, Markey still with the ball. Well played ball. Saved before it gets to the byline. Burke Gilroy. Now Estrada, the captain, looking there towards the far post. Serta had to track that one through the air, has it. Quickly wants to go to the opposite end. Diaz couldn't get there in enough time.
Yeah, Serta with a nice catch there, just couldn't get Diaz going there, and a throw-in it is to Seattle.
Court Furniture's played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home here in Tulsa. Court Furniture there when you need it and gone when you don't. Gamble looking wide for DJ Dean.
Nearly found him, but Briscoe was able to just turn his body there and just get a leg in the way, foil the danger. It's a pretty attacking lineup that the Roughnecks have got. They've got a front four now, really, if you think of Gamble and Diaz down the middle, and then on the left is Tavares, on the right is DJ Dean, so it's pretty attacking as they try to get back in this one.
Pretty time here for Callie Brown. Options, finds Daly. Say there that Covarrubias just undercut right on the edge of the circle. Ozzie Daly out wide.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Daly tonight. He keeps it simple, plays in front of the back four, hasn't given the ball away, not afraid of a tackle. I think he's done well.
I think Ulysses has a legit reason to be upset on his cross there. Estrada couldn't do much with it. It was a well-played ball there from Ulysses. Speedy Dean looking to try to run onto it. Briscoe shows some signs as well that he was step for step there with DJ. Brown out to scoop this one up. You know, we've been keeping an eye on those scores, and 2018 USL Cup playoffs kick off next week. Road to the 2018 USL Cup, which will air Thursday, November 8th on ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Eastern. Stay up to date with matches, brackets, kickoff times, key storylines, and much more starting on Monday at USLsoccer.com.
Josh Morton with a great piece of play coming forward then, but just played it in behind Mirkovic. Couldn't find him.
Vukovic almost, in a way, playing that ball to himself.
Yeah, one of those, he just played it forward looking for his teammate. They didn't go, so he thought, right, I might as well chase it, but Brown was alert to the danger.
Daly settles. Nice ball given back to Daly. Munoz, the first defender to get a piece of the ball. Vukovic finished cleaning it up. Misplay there from Munoz, and then a foul, and that will be a card.
Yeah, fair decision. I think there were a few challenges flying in there, and in the end, Munoz just hacking the legs from the back. He complains, vents his anger about the goal, saying he was fouled over there. That's nothing to do with it now. That's gone. Yellow card it is, and a free kick in a dangerous position, right of centre.
Popeo is there.
I think in the Eastern Conference, time running out, just 4 minutes left for North Carolina. They're still 1-1 at Charlotte Independence. They needed to win that one by a big margin. So I think North Carolina's quest for the playoffs might well be over.
Yeah, we just saw a replay there. I don't have a problem with the card at all. Popeo kind of...
One of those frustrating ones, isn't it?
Yeah, especially after the offensive player makes you look a tad bit foolish on a move. It's behinds. Or Hopeo. It's Hopeo. It's a well-hit ball.
It was a well-hit ball. There's going to be a substitution, which Pop will tell us about in a minute. But that was a well-hit ball. It was a strange run-up from Hopio.
It was.
Actually.
And that's why I was surprised at how well hit that it was.
And that was his last kick of the game, I think. Hopio, he's going to make way here.
Marlon Vargas, first sub of the evening.
Covarrubias helping Mr. Hopio off the field. It's a referee's job, I think.
And we'll have 2 changes. Hines and Asriel Gonzalez on for Hines.
North Carolina have got a very late goal there at Charlotte Independence. They now lead that one by 2-1. But I think we were saying, Pop, they need a big swing of goals there, don't they?
Dave, I know this is one of your favorite aspects of calling games. Mr. Gonzalez, birthday, May 24th, 2001. Las Vegas, Nevada, native.
2001.
Has some under 16 men's national team experience. Played for the U16s in a tournament there in France. Finally cleared out of the 18. Vargas, the other sub, also born in 01. Wave of youth.
I think it's, you know, the worldwide game has become much quicker, much faster. And I think, you know, now it's kind of spot the 32, 33-year-old in your team. Maybe there's 1 or 2. And I'm talking worldwide, you know, I'm talking about the English game as well. You don't see as many guys in their 30s these days. And I think it's just down to the fact the game's a lot quicker.
Heads up play from Serta. He had to make sure that he got there and also clear of his defender. Roughnecks will make their 2nd substitution of the evening. Munoz and Terrence Smith on for Mr. Munoz.
Well done to Munoz there going off. I mean, he has played his heart out this season for the Roughnecks. He's the captain. He's often, you know, been an unsung hero in a difficult season. A lot of the goals that have gone in, I feel sorry for him because there were soft goals that weren't anything to do with him. And he never dropped his head. He worked hard for the cause. Well done, that young man.
It's the 2nd time that we've seen Smith made his debut on Wednesday. Started, played 77 minutes there in the center of that defense. Played here in the MPSL 2016 with Tulsa Athletic. Oh, misplayed ball there.
Yeah,
that's Gonzalez. He will be upset with himself.
Yeah, he will be. Terrence Smith has gone in alongside Jacinho in a flat back 4. Like for like swap.
Terrence is a big defender. Here's Tavares. Nice ball played. Oh, looking for Tavares. Was Gamble.
Well, just in that attack, it's what we alluded to early on in the game here in our commentary, that Tavares needs to be one-on-one with the defender, and he certainly was in that attack. I think it's important for the Roughnecks here in the last, 32 minutes of the season that it doesn't go really, really flat now. They've really got to go for this to get back on level terms.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think we're kind of at that time, too, where maybe a few signs of that happening. And you've got to find a way to fight through that right now. The double team there with Mirkovic, Daly as well coming up there from the center. Boy, Daly has some size on him. 6'4", 200 pounds. Or excuse me, Smith.
Smith, yeah. And just going back to the previous point, you know, about getting the Roughnecks going, it's the likes, you know, we've just been talking about, you know, 30-year-olds. I mean, it's Mirkovic, it's Vukovic, it's that kind of players. Got to get the youngsters going and tell them the importance of this half an hour left.
Played through, brilliant ball there, an opportunity, and this one will skip to the opposite side of the post. Estrada one more time.
Yeah, dragging it wide, good opportunity, and again, parting of the Red Sea a little bit. There was too much space there for Estrada, but he drags it wide. Roughnecks get away with it.
You go back and you look at the replay there, and Morton gets caught cheating to the inside just a little bit too much, and it's an easy ball to slip in behind there from Jairzinho, but that's where Morton gets caught there. Tad bit. Oh, Smith took a tumble, hopped back up immediately, then steps up and makes the big play. Lots of contact there. Mirkovic with the full body tackle. Helped up Diaz. Vukovic is lucky there.
Well, would you believe it? North Carolina got a third goal late on there, so it's now Charlotte Independence 1, North Carolina 3.
Not giving up yet, are they?
They've not given up yet, but I think we were saying they do need what we call in England a cricket score. I think we said they had to have 6-goal swing maybe if it comes down to the goal difference.
Covarrubias from Morton. Now Diaz. Oh, Diaz on the nice back heel. Isaac Diaz punches that ball directly at Brown.
Yeah, and that is now finished. That's the final score. Papa and I can tell you that North Carolina have just missed out. They're in 9th place there. Say again, a great setup. I was able to go there with Swansea City last season. Beautiful setup at North Carolina.
Vukovic unable to complete the tackle. Estrada. Good hustle there from Michael Gamble. Estrada gets it back, though, off of the rebound. Daly switches. One little touch past Josh Morton. Settles there, and the finish. And S2 has put themselves in a position up by 2 now. And that's Burke Gilroy, who was just the recipient of the good ball that's played square to him, and he does what he's supposed to in that moment. Finishes here in the 63rd, and S2 now 3-1.
Yeah, he did everything right there with the goal, but you don't want to point fingers, but Josh Morton was blown by there, and just in the build-up there, look, just caught, and that's good play from Briscoe there. Sets up the goal here. Slight deflection, but that's what you want from your goal scorers. 3-1.
Yeah, I think that was Jairzinho with the deflection that just put it right there in the proper spot for Burke Gilroy to finish.
Yes, it was 2 of them, wasn't it? It was Morton slightly out of position there, getting caught, and then the deflection. Jairzinho is very, very upset with himself out of shot there still.
One touch ball there from Gamble.
Well, Mirkovic is annoyed with Gamble, and I can understand. I'm not sure why Gamble was. We'll take another look. There's Morton blown by a little bit there. There's the deflection of Jairzinho, but that is a good finish. Take nothing away from the finish. But just come back to that Michael Gamble there. He tried to play the ball in. Mirkovic was saying, well, why didn't you take it yourself and have a shot?
And I thought he had time to settle that there. One touch there and then have a go.
You know, they say about goal scorers that they're greedy, and he was very unselfish there, was Michael Gamble.
can watch highlights from every game of the 18 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. In the 65th, S2 with a 3-1 lead. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders, live from One Oak Field. Isaac Diaz had DJ Dean there in a help position. Tried to play it back for him. Next right now having a hard time making some of those balls up. Terrence Smith, good defensive play there, but the run through and Serta has it. Lots of contact there as Gonzalez hit the turf. Well, he's holding his right ankle and the left side of his face.
Well, I think it was Big Jairzinho there just muscling him off, to be honest. I mean, he's down, and I think the ball probably needs to go out here for he can get some attention. In fact, Mr. Lara is sensibly going to stop play. He is in a bit of trouble here, like as you said, Pop, with his face and his leg. We'll see the replay here.
That was Jairzinho who just hockey checked him off the ball. And that's what he just told. It's just what he told Fabian there. And actually, that was Ulisi.
And I think the Chilean is saying to the referee, can he not receive attention off the field? Let's get on with the game.
Looks like that he caught one right there on the left side of his face, right there on the cheekbone. That's where they're looking.
Which is not pleasant, is it, my friend?
It is not.
On a slightly cold night as well.
And they have stepped off the pitch there.
Well, if you're Seattle, you're very pleased with proceedings, aren't you? But if you are the Roughnecks, you know, you've got 24 minutes left of your season to give your fans something to cheer. And can you get yourself back on at least level terms in another high-scoring draw, maybe?
Ulisi has been welcomed back on. Takes his proper position there in the back. Over the top for Diaz. Diaz! Oh, Brown with a great save. Negate the Roughnecks and quickly to the opposite end of the field. S2 tries to go quickly with transition.
Great save from the goalkeeper again. Quality goalkeeping.
Oh, Covarrubias tried to, nice little foul there. Was pulling with the jersey and quickly on the outlet pass now for Serta.
Well, Gonzalez was screaming then. He said, I was free, and he was. He was stood on his own inside the box if his teammate could have found him, but he didn't. He went for the shot, an easy save for Serta in the end. Does that count as a save for Mr. Serta?
I'm telling you, Covarrubias did. It doesn't seem like a lot, but that little pull of the jersey there just to knock Burke Gilroy off a half a step, I think made the difference. Settled near midfield. Daly, surrounded by a host of white shirts, finally releases the ball.
Well, before tonight, Pop, the last time Seattle scored more than 2 goals was, of course, in the 4-4 draw with the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Back on September 5th. Keeping an eye on that San Antonio, Rio Grande Valley, South Texas derby.
Yeah, they're at half-time. Still Guzman's goal separating the two sides there. San Antonio 1, Rio Grande 0. And up in St. Louis, 0-0 at half-time between St. Louis and Oklahoma City Energy. Of course, St. Louis beat the Roughnecks on Wednesday night, 1-0.
Serta to the turf has it.
And that was better defending, to be fair, from Josh Morton there. He tracked the player all the way, managed to tow it back to his keeper.
It's been about a 50-50 night for Vukovic tonight as well. That ball that was down the touchline looking for DJ Dean there trickled out. Roughnecks fortunate here. Dean finally knocked off of the ball. So just at the edge of the center circle. Now looking wide. Morton now has a few steps of green in front of him. Looked long on the ground. Intercepted by S2.
Just wondering if Coach Ensign, who's got one more substitute left, I believe, whether he would think about bringing Uzi Teo on and going 3 at the back, just to try something a little bit different for the last 20 minutes. Maybe, you know, take off a Josh Morton or a Vukovic and go 3 at the back and push another man up top, go sort of a 3-4-3. But at the moment, no action on the bench for the Roughnecks.
From the opposite end, oh.
Yeah, DJ
curled
Dean
away there from the back post.
Yeah, DJ Dean did well there. Good ball through from Vukovic. We haven't seen that too much tonight. Good ball through, but in the end, Dean overhitting his cross, and nobody is going to get on the end of that one.
We will have another Roughnecks sub coming up here in just a few moments. Foul here. Roughnecks want to give a special thank you to Soccer City here in Tulsa, the official partner of the 2018 Tulsa Roughnecks. And special thanks to all the great sponsors who help bring you the broadcast. And Roughneck Soccer. Here's the sub that was previously mentioned. This will be Christian Rodriguez for Josh Morton.
Which would indicate to me that the Roughnecks are going to do what I said, which is 3 at the back, and Vukovic will play as a 3rd centre back.
This is the 2nd appearance for Rodriguez. Made his, actually, I apologize, made his first start on Wednesday there in St. Louis. Made his debut back on June 9th against St. Louis. He played 85 minutes there on Wednesday.
Looks to me like Rodriguez has gone in next to Covarrubias, and they've pushed Mirkovic on a little bit further forward. Roughnecks almost playing with 4 up front now.
Long ball from Vukovic, received there by Gamble.
And why not, Pop? You know, 18 minutes of the season left, you're bottom of the table.
Gamble got by Daly. And you obviously have to go with that more offensive approach, Dave. But the thing that also creates for you here, as we just wrapped up 73 minutes, is when you decide to go to that line there in the back. I mean, you've got Terrence Smith that's back there as well, that's playing centrally. Not a whole lot of minutes. I mean, communication is key. Yeah, because you are leaving yourself open here to some opportunities for Seattle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Terrence Smith hasn't had a lot of minutes, so they've got to be talking to each other. They presumably practiced it a little bit in training. Of course, it negates the fact that Vukovic will have to sit in now. He can't go forward, so that's going to be up to DJ Dean ahead of him.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up DJ Dean, because he's going to play a key role in this, and look where he's tracking right now.
Yeah, he's got to play as a wing-back, really, like Tavares is. But at the moment, the Roughnecks are playing chase ball. They can't get the ball.
Sounders 2 with another sub at the next opportunity. Daly picks the pocket of Dean. Ulysses. Diaz. Well done, Terrence Smith.
Yeah, good defending from Smith there. He needed that. It's been difficult for him since coming on.
Vukovic was in a tough spot there. Not really many options for him. Was going to have to work that one out on his own the entire way through.
Yeah, I think if he had that back again, he'd rather put himself in that position a little bit. But in the end, fair play to him. He stuck to the task and cleared the danger. But again, I say this Sounders here, very impressive. Just professionally knocking the ball around. 15 minutes to go. The Roughnecks need to get a foot on the ball and get some passes together themselves.
Foul on Jusinho. S2 seemingly very aware of the situation, Dave, a little bit more methodical, kind of slowed things down a little bit, still working, but have slowed down the pace a bit. And here's David Olson on for Burke Gilroy, who scored tonight here in the 63rd.
Yeah, they're being thoroughly professional. You know, they're a young side, but they're playing these minutes out very well. Again, led by the impressive Daly, to me, the central midfielder, the Australian, doing extremely well. And they look dangerous when they come forward, and they don't let the Roughnecks have the ball very much, and that's what has impressed me.
David Olson played his college ball at Seattle U after transferring in from San Diego State. Native of Auburn, Washington. Tripped up in midfield.
And I think the referee said to Covarrubias, 1-2, next one, yellow card. I think the Roughnecks have reverted back to Mirkovic playing more of a deeper role with Covarrubias. Rodriguez has gone out wide on the left. DJ Dean's up in the front line, so it's an attacking lineup, but they just can't get the ball to the front man at the moment. Paid tribute to the Sounders here, keeping the ball.
Yeah, Tulsa needs a bit of life here. They have let Seattle come in and kind of grind things down here, more to their pace, how they want to control things right now. Maybe this long ball here. Rodriguez in a full-on battle, fouled there.
This will be a chance for Vukovic to get the ball in with that trusty left foot, and predictably Jusinho and Terrence Smith, the big man, going up from the back.
Possession now creeping up slightly in favor of S2, now 51.5%. Free kick from Vukovic. as it glides over the byline.
Yeah, and Vukovic quite rightly puts his head in his hands and said, look, I gave you the perfect ball into the box. Why weren't you running onto it? You know, that is a great ball, and I guess it's last game of the season, whatever you want to call it, but there was just no conviction from any Roughnecks player running onto that ball, and I feel a little bit sorry for Vukovic there, because I think he played the perfect ball in. It was away from the keeper, it was in behind the defenders, couldn't have been placed better.
I think that's a couple of times tonight that he's been a bit upset with maybe the effort. Here's the thing, though, Dave. It just takes one right here. One to draw back within one, and that kind of changes the entire outlook of it. Over Rubius. That was going to be a difficult ball. It'll be a low level of completion rate. And to the opposite end, S2 back the other way. Good defense there. Coming back through was Terrence Smith on the slide to take that one away, and you can see now barking orders there, trying to get everyone to help back, and he's yelling directly at the likes of DJ Dean and also Diaz. Turn there from Estrada, and that's exactly where Terrence Smith was yelling there at DJ, because you could see Estrada making that move back towards it, and here's a corner kick coming up for S2.
And I don't mind that from Terrence Smith. Leadership on the field, fantastic. You know, 10 minutes to go of the season, and there's players strolling around, and your side's trying to defend a corner.
Because it's going to take everyone working together for them to even get back within one.
You've got to dig yourself out of a hole, haven't you? You've all got to be on the same page.
Estrada tried to Meg Rodriguez there, and able to do so. Mirkovic just skies this one, center of the pitch.
Yeah, there's an offside there.
Diaz for Jacinho square. Etsy kind of waited on that ball a little bit, maybe needed to come back.
That's another thing, isn't it? When you're down and you don't go towards ball, you wait for the ball to come to you, and sometimes that just doesn't happen. You have to go and make it happen. Briscoe read it well, to be fair.
Rodriguez with a nice win. Still comes away with it. Now out has Campbell. Mirkovic with the run there in the center of the pitch, looking, shoves off one of the defenders. Roughnecks now with a throw in the 83rd minute. You can stay up to date with all the best from social media from around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels. It's a big news as we'll get set for the playoffs coming up next week. There's a driven ball. Brown has it easily, smothered it.
Made it look easier than it was, the keeper there. One of those dipping balls, Vukovic with a shot.
Seattle looking for their first win ever over the Roughnecks. Mentioned that off the top of the show, some of the success that Tulsa has had from their debut season in 15.
And Seattle looking for their first win away from home this season, of course. So they dearly love to do that tonight. And with 6 minutes left, although we saw a fantastic finish in the 4-4 between these two teams. Seattle look to be going to get the 3 points.
And might be looking for another. Serta comes off of his line, beat there, and slammed into the side of the net.
With 3 players waiting for the pullback. And now there's a bit of an inquest. In fact, they wanted a corner. They thought it came off the defender. But really that, you know, if you look at this pop, you count the number of green shirts here. If he could just pull it back here, they're all waiting. He said it came off Terrence Smith. Referees having none of it.
Yeah, Olsen did not have anyone around him.
Now, there's been a significant goal down at San Antonio. And it is now San Antonio 1, Rio Grande Valley 1. Goal scored in the 51st minute.
Well, as that stands now, that means if that score were to hold up, Swope would only need a point against Los Dos.
You're absolutely right, my friend. Yeah. San Antonio currently still in 8th on 50 points. St. Louis are actually now currently in 6th with by dint of the fact that they are drawing 0-0 with Oklahoma Energy FC. But Swope, as you say, would just need a point against Los Dos. That game tomorrow. But Swope Park Rangers ground.
And quickly to the opposite end, and S2 has numbers briefly. Covarrubias coming back. Serta watches that one sail out of bounds.
Yeah, nothing for Serta to do, as you said in commentary. Covarrubias had to get back there because at one point it was 4 green shirts bearing down on 2 white-shirted Roughnecks defenders. Of course, Roughnecks chasing the game. That's going to happen.
Good ball. Rodriguez. Campbell just couldn't find an alley. Vukovic wanted to stop and play there. And there's goal number 4 on the night. It's Olsen, the sub, who has now put this one out of reach. And S2 is just mere minutes away from finishing not only 16th, but having their first win on the road this season.
Yeah, Vukovic down there holding his hamstring. He felt that he was just not able to get back then on that attack. He's still struggling there, but, you know, fair play to Seattle Sounders. They come in and they get their 4th goal of the night, 4-1 the score. And Vukovic has got a hamstring injury, but of course all these substitutes have been done. So he's got to play out this last couple of minutes, plus any injury time the referee deems to be at the end of this game.
Flag is up. Diaz was offsides.
Well, if Vukovic has got a hamstring injury, it would make more sense for him to go and stand out on the wing rather than be one of the 3 central defenders, Pop. I'm wondering whether Covarrubias just needs to sit back there. I know it's all too late now, but he's clearly struggling, Vukovic.
I think one of the key things that I'll take away from the season this year is, Dave, at times and both of us have been a witness to this. There would be teams that would come in here at One Oak that would be middle of the table or right there on the verge of fighting for one of those playoff spots from the 5 all the way through 8 spot. And there have been times, here's Daly, as S2 was looking to pour it on there at the end one more time, but there have been times where we've walked out of here and thought, well, there's a team that is at the bottom of the table that look like a team that should be in playoff position. And I think both of us have had that feeling, and they've dominated possession at times. They've had stretches of brilliance where they just haven't been able to finish, and that's been a key factor, I think, to 2018.
Yeah, absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. We've said in commentary, you know, if you're a neutral walking in, you didn't know where the two teams were in the league. You know, the bottom side, the Roughnecks have outplayed teams, but they've given away soft goals and they've ended up getting nothing out of the game, or maybe a point when they should have had 3. It's been that kind of season, and the referee brings the season right on cue, Pop, to the end, with the Roughnecks going down by 4-1.
Seattle will finish in the 16th spot, and Tulsa will finish 17th here in the West, with the 4-1 being the final score. And Michael Encian will walk off the pitch now after shaking hands with S2. And questions of what is next for not only Coach Encian, but several of the members from the home side tonight in white. See there Encian shaking hands with the referee, and Eti Tavares as well, who has the Roughnecks tonight, finishing at 4-1 in favor of the visitors. We'll have a look at some of the highlights coming up here in a few moments. But Dave, some of your final thoughts, not only on this one, but as we kind of look back through 2018.
Well, I mean, on tonight, you know, going in at halftime, we said 1-1 was about the right score. Both teams fairly evenly matched. But to be fair to Seattle Sounders too, they've come in the second half. They've scored 3 goals. And they look worthy winners tonight. And congratulations to them on getting their first away win of the season. As for the Roughnecks, it, you know, just didn't happen in that second half. And it's been a familiar story, really. Just 3 wins on the season. I think Coach Encian deserves a real pat on the back, because I think he's come in a difficult situation, brought in a few players, and, you know, he's done his best in a difficult season. The Roughnecks finished bottom, but there are some pluses from the season that we can take.
Let's take a look at the highlights from tonight's match. Here's in the first half, and Fabian Serta was called into action early.
Well, there's one of the brightest sparks of the season, and that's Fabian Serta. 124 saves, maybe more. If I missed a save tonight, he's just been outstanding. But for him, it could have been a lot worse.
Paris G, who unfortunately for the Roughnecks had to exit after an injury tonight, could not go the full 90. This was one of those missed opportunities, Dave, that you wish you just had a free moment back. How things might have been a little bit different if you could have found a way to score there, but brilliant defending from S2.
Well, it was, and Gamble did everything he could there, twisting and turning, but it was good defending. But here is the goal. Beautiful moment for the 16-year-old here. Sweet volley, Diaz, and that broke the deadlock.
One more look at it here. Watch the settle from Diaz with the chest, or excuse me, Estrada.
Yeah, laid it on a plate for the young man, didn't he? But you've still got to, you know, keep your composure there. Roughnecks here with Tavares.
This is the offsides here from Diaz. You'll see Gamble as well, I believe, coming up. That's also offsides.
Yeah, 2 close calls, but Gamble's annoyed himself he didn't finish, but he was offside. And then here's the goal. It was a long ball from Josh Morton, and here's the quickest man in a Roughneck shirt this season, Tavares, and he gets his 3rd of the season. That was about as good as it got. Here you see the keeper just thinking about, shall I twist or stick, and stuck there, and Tavares with a quality finish. And we went in at half-time, pot 1-1, and it looked an even game at that point.
It did look to be even, as you see Tavares celebrate with the roustabouts here. And then the second half started, and it didn't take long.
No, you'll see here, was Muniz fouled here? You know, the lad's got his back to him, so I think the referee says no, it wasn't really a foul on him, and that's a good finish. Here you see they get tangled up here. Muniz goes down, referee plays on. Serta gets a hand on it, but it's a good finish, and that was 2-1.
Here's another chance for Seattle.
Yeah, dragged it wide there. But they kept on coming, didn't they?
Yeah, they absolutely did. And here's where it's seemingly things started to fall apart for the Roughnecks, as the finish there from Burke Gilroy. See the second angle of it, just a little touch there off of Jacinho. Does well to finish it there in the side of the net. Roughnecks to the other end. Diaz with the save there from Brown. That was maybe their last best opportunity. Little chip right here over Serta on the sub that came on Olsen.
Yeah, it was a quality finish from Olsen. That one into the side netting when there were 3 over could easily have been another goal.
And then there's Olsen. One last time. Look at that little nice, easy touch there over Fabian Serta. And that finishes at 4-1. And Serta now taking photos here with some of the fans. Hey, I want to, on a note from all of us here, want to say thank you to all of our great sponsors, whether that be, you know, the YMCA, Titan Sports and Performance, their beautiful new facility that they have here in Tulsa. That's the official training center for the Roughnecks. Make sure you look at them, TitanSportsComplex.com. From Case and Associates to everyone at Court Furniture and Soccer City and Tulsa Bone and Joint, and Supermercado Moreos, who is a fantastic organization here in town and in our state. And more importantly, I want to thank the camera crew and the production staff here at One Oak for all of their hard work this season. Brady Ballou for helping out on the sidelines. You, Dave Saunders, for doing a great job. And the fans that not only show up here each and every single week, but those that watched on Cox Yearview and ESPN+. Thank you for everything that you do and for helping support soccer here in our city. It's important to us, and we hope that that is able to be translated through the broadcast. And thanks to the staff here at the Roughnecks as well for allowing us this opportunity. I know you feel the same way.
I do, absolutely. Tremendous team behind the scenes, makes our job very easy. We love calling this game. It's been a tough season, but the Roughnecks will come back again next year and hopefully be a lot stronger. Well done to Seattle and well done to all the teams. Good luck to the teams that get in the top 8 as well in the playoffs. Final score for the final time in the 2018 season. S2 comes in on the road to win 4-1 over the Tulsa Roughnecks. For all of us here in Tulsa, have a good night and a good rest of the 2018 USL playoffs.
We're here to talk about trucks.
I love trucks.
Well, what truck brand comes from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road?
I think it's the Chevy.
Ford.
It's not Ford.
I think it's Ram.
Not Ram either.
It's Chevy.
Gorgeous.
Get a total value of $8,000 on this Silverado when you finance with GM Financial. Plus, trade up and get an additional $1,750 cash allowance. Chevy drives Oklahoma. Find new road.
Supermercados Morelos has the perfect ingredients for you to enjoy. T-bone steak as well as carne asada and specials every week to have an unforgettable time this season. Only with Supermercados Morelos.
Only excellence passion to serve you is our mission. Only with Morelos, the new tradition.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.